From Delaware's most award-winning radio news team, this is WDEL Video News. Here's Chris Carl.
Among Delaware's top stories for Friday, June 29th, an arrest warrant is issued in the case of an abandoned boy. Working early this morning, the House approves a major piece of legislation and officially opening downtown Wilmington's newest building. Here are the details. State police have an arrest warrant for a New Jersey man in connection with the abandoned baby case here in Delaware. 32-year-old Rosario DiGirolamo will be charged with reckless endangering and child abandonment. His son Michael was found in the parking lot at Christiana Hospital 3 weeks ago. State troopers say DiGirolamo used his cell phone around that time in the Newark area, then flew to Italy a few days later. The boy's mother, Amy Giordano, is still missing. In another twist in the case, prosecutors in New Jersey are probing whether DiGirolamo has any ties to organized crime. He does not have a criminal record, but the house where he once lived belonged to a reported member of a North Jersey crime family. Only the governor's signature stands between 12,000 state employees and the contract negotiation table. WDEL legislative correspondent Carl Konevsky reports from Dover.
It was shortly after Thursday night turned to Friday morning when the House of Representatives approved legislation giving state employees the ability to collectively bargain for wages. The House Republican caucus was divided, with one group meeting behind closed doors for almost 3.5 hours before the vote. State Representative Greg Lavelle says the interests of state workers have always been represented in Dover and doesn't think it's time to add a possible burden to the state's economy.
Members of the Joint Finance Committee did their best, along with all the members of the General Assembly, to take good care of state employees. I think state employees are, well, no, everyone wants to make more money, sure. I mean, that's a no-brainer. Everyone wants more, but we have to remember who the more comes from in this case, and the more comes from the taxpayers.
Mike Bigato, Executive Director of Council 81, representing state employees, says he wants his workers to have the same benefits as everyone else.
The state employees are the only ones in the entire state of Delaware that do not have the right to bargain over wages. Everyone else in the state has that right except 12,000 state employees, and all we want is a level playing field.
Sponsored by Newark Republican Bill Oberle, supporters say the bill provides necessary and proper protection for state employees. Reporting from Legislative Hall in Dover, I'm Carl Konevsky, 1150 AM, WDEL.
A retired Delaware priest has pleaded guilty in a New York court to sexually abusing a Syracuse teen over several years. Reverend Francis DeLuca pleaded guilty to second-degree sexual abuse and 2 counts each of third-degree sexual abuse and endangering the welfare of a child. DeLuca was a priest in the Catholic Diocese of Wilmington for 35 years. He was dismissed from public ministry in 1993 after being accused of sexually abusing a minor in the late 60s while he was a priest in Delaware. Prosecutors recommended shock probation of 45 days in the county jail, but the judge told the 77-year-old DeLuca he probably would get no worse than probation. Sentencing was set for August 27th. Just how many of us will be hitting the road for the July 4th holiday? WDEL News continues in a moment.
Enjoy the beach more with Dart's money-saving resort bus service. Ride in comfort to the outlet, boardwalk, beaches, or Ocean City, Maryland, without traffic and parking hassles. Everyone in your car rides free when you use Dart's park and ride lot for only $7. Or take the beach bus Route 305 from Wilmington on weekends through September 4th. Resort service runs daily through September 17th. For schedules, call us or visit our website. Dart First State Getting There starts here.
The legislature's Joint Bond Bill Committee has finalized next year's capital budget for the state. WDEL's Carl Konevsky has details.
The committee allocated $283 million in capital expenditures for construction projects and an additional $256 million for transportation-related projects. Committee Chair Senator Bob Venables, a Laurel Democrat, says the key to making the numbers work was the revenue package approved by the General Assembly.
If the General Assembly had not done what they did and passed the cigarette tax, we would have not got the bond bill done probably and would have had to come back in the summer. I hate to even think about what we'd had to take out. It would have been an additional $54 million that we'd had to take out.
The bill includes $2 million for a proposed Civic Center project and $265,000 for upkeep to the Garrison's Lake Golf Course near Smyrna. Those projects forced Senator Gary Simpson, a Milford Republican, to cast the only no vote in committee.
When there's unmet needs in education, I don't think that you can continue to fund a golf course. No matter how much you like a golf course, when there's unmet building school needs. That should take top priority over golf courses and civic centers.
Epilogue language added before the final vote also included $3 million to the Delaware Healthcare Commission and $500,000 for repairs to the kitchen at the Howard Young Prison, a top priority for Corrections Commissioner Danberg. Reporting from Legislative Hall in Dover, I'm Carl Kanefsky, 1150 AM, WDEL.
You may find it easier to go green in Delaware. WDEL's John Collins has that story.
Governor Minner signed legislation on Thursday that would create a first-in-the-nation sustainable energy utility.
These efforts lead to peak demand reduction, which ultimately results in lower prices and price stability, as well as reduced energy bills.
We will be helping Delawareans to do what they already really want to do, but don't quite have the organizational capability to do it.
The new utility uses private and public funding along with consumer savings to help Delawareans live more energy-efficient lives. Reporting from Legislative Hall in Dover, John Collins, 1150 AM, WDEL.
County police and the state medical examiner's office are working to determine the identity of a man whose skeletal remains were found yesterday near Newcastle. For now, police are only saying a man walking in the woods near a stormwater retention pond in Langolan Estates found the skeleton dressed in men's clothing. If you're staying close to home for the July 4th holiday, you might find the roads a little less crowded. AAA Mid-Atlantic says a lot of people are going to make the holiday a full week's vacation. Spokeswoman Ella Volek says more than 114,000 Delawareans will be traveling 50 or more miles for the holiday, up 2% from last year. And there's more good news. Gas prices are about 19 cents cheaper than they were on Memorial Day. The official grand opening of the new WSFS corporate headquarters means growth for Delaware. WDEL's Curtis Gray reports.
It is a span of 15 floors with more than 370,000 square feet, changing Wilmington's skyline. Thursday's Champagne celebration marks 175 years of service and the grand opening of the new Wisfus Bank Center on Delaware Avenue. State Treasurer Jack Markell says Wilmington and Delaware appreciates the strong commitment from WSFS and their contribution to the economy.
A strong Wilmington's important for a strong Delaware, and this is just a terrific facility and a major investment by the bank.
Chris Buccini of the Buccini Poland Group says their unique partnership with WSFS will allow almost a dozen other businesses to grow as well.
And they wanted to grow in this city and build their business up in this, continue to build their business up here in the city. And by their growth, they enabled another 10 other companies and growing to grow with them.
I'm Curtis Gray, 1150 AM, WDEL.
The Phillies roll thanks to J-Roll. WDEL Sports and your Delaware AccuWeather forecast coming up.
Looking to gain an edge in the technology or design field? Wilmington College's Division of Information Technology and Advanced Communications offers state-of-the-art facilities equipped with the latest tools. Achieve balance, achieve success.
In WDEL Sports, Jimmy Rollins delivered the last of his 4 hits in the 10th, driving in pinch runner Jason Worth for an 8-7 10-inning win over Cincinnati. Chase Utley hit a pair of 2-run homers for the Phils. The Phillies pulled it within 3 games of the first-place Mets, hosting the New Yorkers for 4 games, starting with a day-night doubleheader today. In Game 1, Cole Hamels goes against El Duque, Orlando Hernandez. You can hear that game at 1 o'clock on WDEL. And in tonight's game, J.D. Durbin takes the mound for the Phils against John Maine. Pre-game coverage for Game 2 starts at 6:30. The Blue Rocks down the Lynchburg Hillcats 5-3 in a game that was stopped in the 9th inning because of a torrential downpour. Rowdy Hardy, who leads the Carolina League in ERA, picked up his 10th win despite hitting 4 batters during the game. The rubber match of that series is tonight at Frawley Stadium. And the Sixers were unsuccessful in efforts to trade up in the NBA draft, then pulled off a surprise with their first selection. The Sixers took 6'8" forward Thaddeus Young from Georgia Tech with the 12th pick overall. He played just 1 season in college. The Sixers had 3 more picks in the draft and ended up trading each one of them, ending up with Colorado State 7-footer Jason Smith, Vanderbilt swingman Derek Byers, and Providence big man Herbert Hill. Your WDEL Delaware AccuWeather forecast: clouds and showers to start the day, then mostly cloudy for the rest of Friday, high 78. Tonight, clearing skies, low 58. Saturday, sun and clouds, high 83. Sunday, sunshine and a high of 80. I'm Chris Carl. Have a great weekend, and thanks for watching.